What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nothing But Skills, and today we're going to be talking about the build I like to call the Rambo build. It's an updated LMG build from the last build video you guys have seen. Now, the reason why I decided to update this build is because there was two talents that, well, there was one talent that I was using on my chest piece that was 10% damage to armor, and they haven't fixed that yet. So once they fix that, that build will be a solid build for you guys to use. But I tweaked it a little bit and I started playing it a different way. Now, I don't run the chatterbox with this build anymore. As you guys have seen in this video, I'm running an M60 and I run the MG5. If you guys can control the MG5 is actually a really gun to use because of the high RPM rate and what it has to offer. So for the guns, I'll get into those first. I am running the light machine gun military M60. Now this is going to give you a base damage of 31,000. Now remember, when you guys do go normalized, it will drop down, but I think you're at 12k normalized. So when you guys are thinking of builds, when you guys are thinking of the way things will work, remember everything is normalized from the dark zones to conflict except the occupied zone. So once at the very end, I'll show you exactly how hard I'm hitting. Now, the talents you must run 100% on any of your LMGs is Unhinged, because this talent is amazing. Receive 25% weapon damage at the cost of negative 35% weapon handling. And if you put the right talents, the right roles, you can handle that 35% weapon handling. Now, Allegro is another one that you should put on all of your guns except the MG5 because it already has a high rate of fire, and I'll show you what I run instead. But Allegro on the M60, if you want to run the M240 Bravo, you need to run Allegro because it will bump up your rate of fire. If you can see, I have 550 versus just 500. Now, the way you should have your LMGs modded because of the weapon handling negative you get is 5% stability. Always have this 20% reload speed because reloading LMGs sucks. And then angle grip, you want to put another 10% stability. And then on the muzzle, this is really up to you. I like running accuracy, but some people might put stability. I think accuracy for me works a little bit better. For my second one, I am running the MG5. Now the MG5 is only gonna be at 17.6K. I believe this one drops down to 8K normalized, 6K normalized. We'll check in just a second. See the big difference, the RPM 800. So what I like doing is using the M60, and if I get them low and they're running away, or if they try to face tank me, I'll switch to the MG5 because of the high rate of fire, the mag size of being 60, and the damage still being pretty good. Also, you want to run Unhinged on here because it's going to receive 25% weapon damage at the cost of negative 35% weapon handling. You want that 20% magazine capacity. That's going to get me up to 60 rounds versus 50. And then for the third talent, another talent that I'm not really even worried about, right? So the way you have this one modded, same way, you want the red dot sight. That's going to give you 5% stability. You want the angle grip, 10% stability. You want the 20% reload speed, and you can't put nothing on the muzzle on this. So let me show what they look like when we do normalize the stats. So the M60 is still going to be at 12K. And then the MG5 is going to be at 6.6K. So that's the big difference right there, right? The 6K that you're getting, it's still having a good rate of fire. You can mow down your enemy pretty quick. 12,000 damage in normalize is really good, especially with 100 rounds. And then the MG5, the high rate of fire, if you can land those headshots, you'll melt people. These are my go-to guns. I call it the Rambo build because I run 2 LMGs, and instead of reloading, I'll swap to the faster rate of fire after I have them low. So if I use all 100 bullets, and there's a guy right in front of me, I'll switch to this MG5 and just melt them, even with only having 6.6 damage. Now my armor is 218,000. Normalized, it's 148,000. My health is 61,000. Normalized, it's 51,000. So don't worry about the skill power. We're not really focused on that, but armor is what we're looking at right now. So we're just going to look at all the numbers on not normalized. Now this isn't the perfect roll chest, so that's why my armor is a little low. I would like to have this a little bit closer to the 250, and so, but we'll break that down in a second. Oh, one other thing. Always have stop, drop, and roll on one of your guns. If you don't have it on your main guns, pick up a pistol because you won't use your pistol. But look at this. While equipped, rolling removes burning, bleed, and poison status effect. This works great when people are using those flame turrets. I have 5 offensive, 8 defensive, and 4 skill power. So for the mask, we're running 10% weapon handling. We have cooldown reduction, and then we have health. Instead of cooldown reduction, you could probably put skill power on here, but this doesn't really bother me too much. I have to stay under 5 offensive because of the stat that's on my backpack. So that is why having health and a skill power roll on here is good. And then I have self-adjusting 20% armor regeneration. For the chest, we have the Petrov defensive group chest. This is going to be 10% LMG damage. This has some really good rolls. It has 354 skill power, 5.5% weapon damage. It has 6,000 bonus armor and then 6.5% critical hit chance. Do I really need the critical hit chance? Not really, because I'm not really focused about crit chance, crit damage on this build. Now, you want to have unbreakable or unstoppable on this build. I personally like running unbreakable because that 25% max armor that you get when your armor is depleted is a lifesaver, especially if you guys have two builds that are going at each other and they don't have unstoppable proc. This works really good. Remember, armor kits you use within the next 5 seconds are not consumed. Now, if you don't want to run unbreakable, you can run unstoppable. Killing an enemy grants 2% weapon damage for every 10,000 max armor. Now, in conflict and normalized, I believe this drops down to 1%. I don't know. For me, unbreakable is the way to go. If you guys want a little bit more damage, unstoppable force might be the way for you to go. And I can run either one because with this build, I have bonus armor, weapon damage, health. So if I switch back and forth, I can go from unstoppable to unbreakable. Personally, I like unbreakable and I think it works really well. Now, I do have a utility system assist mod slot. So this is going to give me some skill power, increased burn duration, and then XP weak points. So really just there for the skill power. Now for the holster, we have the 5% total armor. You definitely want to get this on one piece of your LMG build so that way you can almost max out on that armor. I have health on here and health on kill. You can get armor on your holster that I know of. I have never gotten a piece, so maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure on your holster you can only get health and health on kill and the other stats. So these are the best two roles for me to stay at 7 defensive cap. For the mods, I'm running an offensive mod that's going to give me LMG damage, SMG damage, and weapon damage. Now, I don't need the SMG damage on there, but I'm using this more for the LMG damage of 3% and then additional 1.5% weapon damage. Now, I do have another mod slot, an offensive mod slot, but I can't use it because it'll bump me out of 5 offensive. And that's because of my backpack, because my backpack also has an offensive slot that I can't use because I want to stay within 5 or less offensive because of safeguard. So my backpack is a Providence defense backpack. This gives me plus 10% skill power. It gives me cooldown reduction. It gives me 3.5% weapon damage. And then it gives me 9,000 bonus armor. And then of course it has safeguard and 10% armor. So the two roles you're really looking for, you can run this on any build. I really don't need it for the skill power. You want that safeguard. Killing a target grants 150% bonus to repairing and healing effects for 20 seconds. And then I get that 10% armor. Both perfect roles. And on your chest piece, that's what you want to look for too. You want to look for a chest piece that has harden on there. I wasn't lucky enough to get a chest piece that has harden on there too. So if I can get one, that would be something I would swap out. I would like to have harden on the chest piece, and that's where my armor will come in. Let me show you that real quick. So on my chest piece, you see right here, I only have unbreakable, but sometimes if you can get like some sets, they'll have unstoppable force, they'll have like another talent. So you just have to be on the lookout for those, hope that you get those perfect rolls. So if we get into the gloves are going to give me health. They're also going to give me 10% hazard protection, and this is going to give me attributes of health, and then I have LMG damage. And then on the gloves, I have devastating rolls, so 5% weapon damage. One thing I would say is if you could get a 2-piece, like you really don't need that hazard protection, which isn't bad though because it helps with that burn resistance, right? If I could have something that gave me accuracy and headshot damage, that might be a little bit better. I could get rid of maybe this skill power since I'm not really focused on the skill power. That would probably be a big difference maker for me. And then for the knee pads, this is where I get my second piece. I have patience. I really like this. After being in cover for 3 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. So if you get in cover and you have time to sit there for 3 seconds, the armor repairs by 5% for every 1 second. Really good role to have. I have a defensive mod slot on here that's going to give me health, armor on kill, and the armor regeneration. So if we go into the stats, we're going to jump in there real quick. We have weapon damage of 30,000. That's all my M60, of course. My crit chance is 6.5%. Crit damage 35%. I'm not really worried about that. My headshot damage is 65%. Now, like I was saying, if you put the other gear set that has 10% accuracy and then 10% headshot, that would be a lot better, right? So you would get an additional 10% headshot damage on top of that. Could make a big difference, especially in PvP. My accuracy is 15%, stability is 15%, reload speed bonus is 20%, so my reload time on here is only 4.8. Now, where this build excels is look, all weapon damage bonus is 40.5%, LMG damage bonus is 31%. That is what makes this build hit hard. We're focused on LMG damage, all weapon damage bonus. At 5 offensive, we're still putting out a lot of damage. So for the skills, I like running the chem launcher, and then I like the drone, and I just run the fixer drone. Now, some people are running this Defender drone. If you guys have any questions on this build, let me know in the comment section. This is probably one of my favorite builds to run at the moment. I do have an AR build I have completed, but there's an issue with AR builds right now. And when I release that build to you guys, I'll let you guys know. But as of right now, you guys know SMGs, LMGs are the meta. I feel like LMGs are becoming a little bit more stronger of the meta because of the amount of bullets you can put on an LMG. It's 100 bullets. If you want to run the M249, that's also another great LMG. The damage when normalized, I think it's only 1K difference from the M60, but the rate of fire is a little bit better. The M60, the MG5, all really good LMGs you can run with this build. This build really works really good. The reason why I named it the Rambo build, every time I run this and I'm in a group and we're in a decent group, it melts. It just puts out a lot of power. And if we're at the range right now, it's pretty easy to control. I usually don't have any problem controlling anything in front of me. Like almost 425,000 DPS and just goes through everything. So not too bad. The build is set up the way I want it. I probably wouldn't make any changes. Now, once they do bring back the True Patriot, I don't think I have the piece on there, and they fix that 10% damage to armor, I think that will be a better build. Running a 2-piece damage to armor will be better than having the extra survivability that I'm getting from Safeguard. I think just having that 2-piece extra damage will be better. But as of right now, I don't know if they fixed it. I tried it the other day. I really didn't see a big difference. So I'm waiting to see once they notify everybody and they say that they fixed the 2-piece Patriot set and get that 10% armor, it's going to do good. But this is my build. I hope you guys enjoy it. Remember, if you found the video useful, smash a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions on this build, use the comment section down below. And as always, if you're new to my channel, first time watching a video, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, so when I release a video, you guys get notified. As always, if you don't see me in Dark Zone, if you don't see me in conflict, it's only a matter of time. Nothing but skills out.